guys, how are you doing? Hope you're having hope you had a great week. Happy Friday, and today's going to be my list of 8. I'm sorry I haven't been able to post any lists recently. It's just that things have been getting crazy now. I've been starting summer classes and stuff like that. Less free time to make the videos. So I'm sorry, but now I'll try to do as much as I can. I'll still do my reviews once a week. I'll try to keep doing the lists as much as I can. So, now to finally close off my Harry Potter list marathon, do a list of 8 of my favorite Harry Potter films. Now, like I said before, same similar policy I had with the books. I love the movies and I love the books, but kind of difficult for me because it's like again having the favorite children, or like in the Animal Farm concept, everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others. So let's get started with favorite Harry Potter movies. Number 8 is the first one, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and number 7 is The Chamber of Secrets. Now, both these films are great, but the problem I have with these two films is that, they adhere so much to the text, which you think, as a person who loves the books, you think that would be a good thing, that they're adhering so much to the books, that they're following the book so closely and so accurately. As a book fan, normally you would love that, but with this case, in terms of the movie, it kind of hinders the movie that in fact doesn't really offer anything fresh, anything new. While the films are good, don't get me wrong, I love the first two films, but I think they just don't really offer that many fresh things, And it doesn't really offer anything new, no new breath of life or anything, but they're still great films, and that's why they're tied, just for that one main issue. So, number 6 is The Goblet of Fire. Now, this is a big shocker because, as I said in one of my previous videos of the favorite Harry Potter books, The Goblet of Fire is personally my favorite Harry Potter book. But the problem is with the film, though, in my opinion, the reason why it's number 6, it's a brilliant film, don't get me wrong. But the problem is with number 6, with The Goblet of Fire, is that it isn't really a memorable film up until the very end when Voldemort comes back, Because it kind of builds up towards that, and it's just, that kind of overshadows the entire movie, Which I don't mind, because that's like the selling point. That's the point of The Goblet of Fire is the return of Voldemort, but, I think just that kind of it overshadows, sorry, dropped something. It overshadows the film in many ways, and I think that's one of the only downsides. It's still a great film, though. I still really enjoy it as a Harry Potter film, as a movie in general. It's still really great, Number 5 is Deathly Hallows Part 2. I know this is probably going to be blasphemy. I'm going to get a lot of spam mail for this. If you guys know, I did my review of Deathly Hallows Part 2 on Sunday, and I love the film, I cried at the end, during the epilogue. I mean, this is the shirt I wore for the premiere, But, don't worry, I washed it. I do, I'm not that, I wash my clothes, don't worry. And, the thing is with Deathly Hallows Part 2, the one thing that really got me, if you guys ever saw the review I did of Deathly Hallows Part 2, if not, go check it out, is the fact that the film felt extremely rushed. Not rushed in the sense that it looked like haphazardly, there was cheap special effects, it's just that, the film had the kind of okay, let's get it over with, kind of, feel to it of how quickly the pace was, And it's kind of disheartening as a Harry Potter fan to witness that, and that's just a downside from otherwise excellent movie, That's why it's number 2. That's why it's number 5. Number 4 would then be Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. The first one directed by David Yates, who I think is kind of, he's brilliant in that. I think he's a brilliant director, And, one thing I really like about this movie, the same reason why I kind of like the book, was that there is that, the problem is why the reason why number 4 is because it's forced to cut out so much of the book, because you guys know, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is the longest book in the series. And, but, one of the things that's so great about it is someone who loves politics and stuff like that, that it does have that sense of political intrigue, with, the Institute of Rebellion, going up against the government, that sort of thing, and it's really great to kind of it's very intriguing, very interesting, kind of gets you that sense of, government paranoia, ominous music sort of feeling, And that's just, it's a really great, it makes the movie really great. I'm sorry saying a lot, I'm trying to get out that habit, but, okay. Number 3 is Deathly Hallows Part 1. Now, this is probably bigger blasphemy to many, if it is, because Part 1 is over Part 2. But I think Part 1 is really, really good, It kind of, it best captures the sense so accurately that, that they're lost. They don't know where they're going. They're constantly in danger. They constantly have to keep moving. And yes, the movie does kind of, not that it drags, but it allows time for these great performances from our leads build up, because it's just the three of them most of the time, in this movie. It's always, it's mainly the three of them, and that's what makes this movie so fantastic. They give such great performances because it's just the three of them, and it's just they're allowed to build off each other, and it's great to see that you can do that. Now, number 2 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And I really like this. It kind of gives that sense of calm before the storm, And it's like, because, definitely, like, the problem with the Half-Blood Prince is the same thing that happens with the Chamber of Secrets. It has that middle child sort of feel to it, And it's also one of the few movies that, it's one of the movies that Voldemort doesn't appear at all in any of the movies or the books. It's one of the two that Voldemort doesn't make an appearance, like a physical appearance to some degree. But it's just, it's kind of able, and one of the things that made Deathly Hallows Part 1 so great also was that it was able to take the seriousness of the situation, not kind of undermine the seriousness of what's going on, but able to, like, add humor to it, Add humor in times of tragedy, in times of sadness, in times of great personal drama and great personal triumph, and the Half-Blood Prince was able to do that effectively, Same thing with Deathly Hallows Part 1. It was able to do that so effectively, and it was great, Again, David Yates does a brilliant job, and I think he's definitely one of the better directors in Hollywood out there now. So, now, my number 1 movie, Harry Potter movie, like favorite, is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, one of the main reasons I really like this movie a lot is that it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón, who you guys don't know directed Y Tu Mamá También and Children of Men, both brilliant movies. And this movie just is equally brilliant. Alfonso Cuarón is a brilliant director. I know I'm saying brilliant a lot, but that's the only way I can describe him right now. It's just brilliant, Because what kind of sets this movie apart from at least the first two was that it was able to say, okay, yes, we are a novelization. We are making a movie based off a book, but we're going to make it fresh, make it new, make it so like they've never, make it so that the people who read the books are going like, oh, oh wow, they could still be, there's still some sense of surprise, still some sense of intensity. And what I really like about this movie, just it's beautifully shot. Some of the shots are just fantastic that Alfonso Cuarón gives, and it's so brilliant what he does. And one of the things that I also really like about this movie is that you finally see Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson really start to get into their characters, really start to dig into their roles and dig into their characters and become more comfortable, allowed to give such much better performances, especially Daniel Radcliffe, who gives, a fantastic performance, It's just, you see all the young leads, get really comfortable with their roles, and it's fantastic to see that, and yeah, that's pretty much all not much else I can say about that. That's my list of my favorite Harry Potter movies in order. So to recap, at 8 it's Philosopher's Stone, at 7 is Chamber of Secrets, at 6 it's Goblet of Fire, 5 is Deathly Hallows Part 2, 4 is Order of the Phoenix, 3 is Deathly Hallows Part 1, 2 is Half-Blood Prince, and 1 is The Prisoner of Azkaban. Alright guys, now I want to try something a little bit different, do a little bit of a poll. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to, in the comment section below, if you want, say what's your favorite Harry Potter film, So then what I'll do, by the time I make my next list video at the beginning, I'll be able to say, hey, look, here's what the listeners say, this is what the viewers have to say. I really want to get your guys' input on this thing, And, I definitely want to encourage debate, albeit, a friendly, healthy environment. Of course, this is the internet, so that may be too much to ask, but, I want you guys to be able to, say what's your favorite, what's your favorite Harry Potter film, and then what I'll tally up the results, do the, and be able to add it up and say, hey, look, this is what, this is what you guys wanted to do. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today, and, yeah, I will see you guys later on doing my review of Batman Under the Red Hood, and I will talk to you guys, I'll talk to you guys later then. Alright, peace.